Hey, and welcome back. This time we're here to talk about the Diploma of Arts in Communication. So this is a really broad diploma that feeds into a couple of key bachelors, but within those bachelors there are a range of different options. So we have students who come into the Diploma of Arts in Communication looking for a career in media or journalism or strategic communication. Or they might be interested in drama and history and security studies. So it's quite broad, leading into the Bachelor of Arts and the Bachelor of Communication and Journalism. But I'll get to that in a minute. It's a really fun, interactive course that introduces you again to a range of different topics and ideas broadly situated within the arts and communication that I think you'll find really interesting and useful, and again will enable you to kind of hone your passions and interests into thinking about what you might like to do with your majors if you have that option in your bachelor. So let's get started. So like the Diploma of Design, the Diploma of Arts and Communication has a similar structure. So again, we have 8 courses that generally run across two trimesters in the year if you're taking 4 courses and a full-time study load. So in trimester 1, again, generally you'll have that academic skills course that I mentioned earlier. And then you'll have 7 other courses that are specific to your arts and communication program. And these are all very different. So we have Understanding the Social World, which is an introduction to sociology, really fun interactive course. It's very gamified, and there's lots of great class discussion and group discussion, plus some kind of around the campus activities that make it really interesting, and looking at a range of different issues in the world, from race to gender, for instance. We also have some foundational communication courses that really enable you to sink your teeth into some of the communication theory, but also to project and think about your future careers actually as well. So really getting you to start thinking about these issues of employability that affect you now, and how you might, again, think about what's important to you and what you might like to focus on going forward with your bachelor. Of course, we have an Introduction to Journalism course and Public Relations. So for those wanting to go into strategic communication and journalism, this is a great option because we have 2 of those courses that give you great insight into what those bachelors might look like, and get you off on the right foot for your career as well. Then we have a Communication Technologies course, introducing you to a range of different technologies, and also thinking about issues like copyright, for instance, and what that means in your industry. And then we also have my favourite course because I teach it, so I'm a little bit biased maybe, and that's Communication Performance. So this is a new course we've been running recently, and the students are absolutely loving it. It's a very practical course in the drama theatre where we learn to hone a range of skills around performing and presenting, and we get really creative and just kind of run around and do some fun things in that course as well. So there's a group assessment, more journalism and strategic communication focus, and then there's also a more creative kind of monologue as well. So there are a range of different courses in this first year, and again it should enable you to gain some insight into what you're most interested in and how you can develop that in your 2nd and 3rd year at Griffith University. So these feed into the 2 key degrees, and that is the Bachelor of Communication and Journalism, which is a pretty new degree at Griffith University, and has some really fantastic courses in the 2nd and 3rd year, including, for instance, an internship that students really greatly enjoy. A lot of our students who've gone through here have ended up in really fantastic positions, such as cadetships with local organisations, and all sorts of great internships as a result of that. So really exciting, some fantastic people in the program. And the Bachelor of Arts similarly, except that this is much more broader. So we give credit for a range of different majors going into that. I think sociology, PR, journalism, and I think that's it at the moment. There might be one more. I'll have to check that for you. But these things are always changing, so it's one of those things you've got to keep up to date with. With the Bachelor of Arts, though, it does go into a range of other majors. So, for instance, you could choose security studies or history or political studies and a whole range of other different majors. That there are language majors as well, if that's something that you're interested in. And non-language majors. So it's just up to you to kind of do a bit of research if you can to start with and see what most interests you in the Bachelor of Arts, if that's something that you're really interested in going into. And both degrees are fantastic. So I'm more than happy to sit down with you again and we can nut out exactly what you're interested in and how that might play out in your Bachelor too. So there's also the double degree, the Bachelor of Communication and Journalism and the Bachelor of Business. And yeah, quite a few students I think are starting to take up these kind of double degrees now too. So that might be the best option for you. But I'll explain a lot more about all of these things in orientation, and we'll get together and with all your peers and get to know one another. The classes are really small in the arts and communication. We keep them nice and small because it's really great to have that interactive, dynamic engagement with each other. And actually, the cohorts that have come through recently have just been the best of friends. It's been so nice to see that they've developed such a sense of community and they really look out for one another. And it's similar in the design, although that's across the two campuses now as well. So I think that's one of the unique things about these two diplomas is that they're creative. They bring people together. We talk about really interesting issues across both the diplomas. So we might be looking at sustainability. We might be looking at issues, how that intersects with issues of race or gender. And we learn a lot about each other in the process as well. So it's a really nourishing, I think, set a couple of disciplines to be involved in. And I'm sure you'll get a lot out of it. So I really look forward to seeing you in orientation and beyond. And welcome. Look forward to seeing you soon.